Big day.
Big day.
Another big interview. You excited?
Are we live right now?
No.
Oh.
No.
So excited.
Okay, good.
Oh, the countdown.
Yeah. Hey, it's Huddy. I'm live with Ben, the Baker Neumann. He's got a big fight coming up, and we thought it was a good idea to catch up with the Baker, see what's happening.
Yep.
It's also September 11th. We all know what day that is, so I want to give a big thanks to a lot of our first responders. My cousin John Adamak, he does a dangerous job out there. We also have Angelique, one of our own Cove members, who's striving to become a member of the police force.
Yeah, she lined up for St. Paul PD.
Yep, she is. Yep, that's where my cousin's at. And my cousin's wife, I think what a lot of people forget about, what she does, she answers the phones, her group.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So when people call 911
and all that,
yeah, you talk to someone. That's her group.
Yeah.
So we have to thank those people as well, because I think they get forgotten a lot, you know, and they have to manage that
stressful
chaos.
too. Stressful.
Oh, unbelievable.
Hearing about all that day in, day out, that's tough.
Yeah. So we want to say a big thank you to our first responders, of course, our military as well. You joined the military in 2013, correct?
Yeah, a couple days after I turned 17.
Or not 2000.
No, it's 2000, let's see, 2003.
2003.
Yep.
So just a couple years after September 11th.
Yeah, yeah.
So you were a sophomore when September 11th happened?
Yeah, pretty sure I was a sophomore year of high school. And I was thinking, my dad was in the Army, Army National Guard, so I wanted to join for a while, and didn't deter me from joining.
You still got into it?
Yeah.
Do you remember where you were?
Yeah, we were at high school. We were outside. We were doing some botany thing. We were looking at different trees and tree leaves and stuff. And then someone called and, hey, what's this on to you? All gathered, watch the TV then.
Right.
Yeah, that's all I remember from that.
I was at home sick with pneumonia, and I was asleep on the couch. And my wife at the time woke me up and said, John, look at the TV.
Probably half out of it anyway.
Yeah, I was. And I didn't know what I was looking at.
Yeah.
Because it was when the planes were already in the towers.
Yeah.
And they were showing that. And I was like,
I think he's replaying it, yeah.
Yeah. And it took me a minute. And I asked her, I'm like, is this real?
Yeah.
What is happening?
Yeah.
So then I'm kind of come to and I see that and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I mean, it's just something I'll never forget. And I know that many people are never going to forget that day if you're old enough to experience that. It's kind of like our grandparents.
Pearl Harbor Day.
Pearl Harbor Day.
Yeah.
Yep. Things like that. So make sure, there's a lot of tough news sometimes out there about our first responders, but we want to give a big thank you to them and let you know that we support you here and we thank you for what you do. So we also have Ben Neumann, who I thank for what he does. He's head instructor here at the Warriors Cove.
Yep, Burnsville, Little Canada.
Burnsville, Little Canada. So that's something new for you.
Yep.
So not instructing. You've been doing that. How long have you been instructing?
I guess I'm not. Probably it's a good 6-7 years now. Maybe
6-7 years?
Not sure.
So Kyle, who had to step down.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah. He preferred to teach a little more, on the nights and weekends and have a little more freedom that way. And doing a normal 9-to-5 person job.
What's normal anyway? I don't know.
Definitely not punching people every day.
No,
that's
it's not
normal.
He's got banker's hours now. We love you, Kyle. But so the idea then was, so you're running the school in Little Canada.
Yep.
And then you come down here to Burnsville.
Yeah, so I just, I could teach every other day Little Canada and Burnsville.
Yeah. So
I'm Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday here, and then Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Little Canada, and just back and forth. So it's kind of fun to get to know twice as many people now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we used to teach at all three schools, and every day you teach like a noon class in Burnsville and the evening in Little Canada.
And then
a 6 a.m. in St. Louis Park, and then a noon in Burnsville. And it was just everywhere.
That's a lot.
So that was a little too much driving. This isn't bad. I can have a much better handle on everything now, just having the 2 and every other day. Yeah. And it's set. So this is working out pretty well.
What classes are you teaching here? What times?
So I'm doing the noon and the evenings. So usually in Burnsville, it's Sunday night, 7 p.m., and then Tuesday and Thursday is noon and 7 p.m. for the MMA, 5 p.m. for the kids' classes, 6 p.m. for kickboxing, and then Little Canada's the similar deal, but they're on Monday, Wednesday, noon and evening. And
so you got a break after noon.
nap time sometimes.
You take,
And,
you take a
I
nap?
have a sleeping bag over here, a little mini sleeping bag in this drawer that I pull out, camping one. Sometimes I'll just camp out on the mat and take a nap.
Yeah.
But a lot of times I'm doing just calls and paperwork and
Catching up.
stuff you got to do.
Busy
to
stuff.
Keep helping people that want to join.
Right. So that's quite the lifestyle we have going
Yeah.
right now. And then on top of that, the bakery.
Yep.
Let's get caught up on the bakery. How I see pictures, I see stuff happening.
Yep. There's always
What is
something
going
going on
on?
in the background. So I'm starting to prepare now for, holiday rush is going to be coming
Right.
soon. I got to, I'm hoping I can sell at least 200 pies, maybe 250. So
Yeah.
I'm starting to build up some stock and get them all in the freezer so they're ready. But
So Ben, he hosts a party in the summertime.
Yep.
It's around a UFC event, and a bunch of us, ton of people are out there. And so I finally, this year, the bakery was completed.
yep, got to see it.
So we got to check that out a little bit. What an amazing transformation.
Yeah, crappy garage to a legit licensed bakery.
Yeah, that is something. So that
Pay enough money, you can do anything. You drop enough money on a
Right.
hobby,
So
you can do it.
where do you park?
Driveway,
Driveway?
lawn sometimes,
Yeah.
Whatever.
Wherever it
Yep.
fits.
Yep.
Not in the bakery though.
Not anymore.
Does that door open anymore?
No, so we tore the door out, put in wall and windows, all that. I put the door under the house. We got a storage area, so one day if we move, we'll tear it back open and put a door back in, and so we'll have a nice tiled garage.
Yeah. And there you go, tiled garage.
Yeah.
That's when do you see that on
your listings.
on HGTV, a tiled garage? I don't know.
I think it's gonna catch on.
It could be the next best thing, right? So you've been busy with the bakery.
Yep.
You're teaching at 2 schools, and then you got this little thing called LFA 50
Yep. Coming up.
on the 21st.
Yeah. So I'll take a week off of teaching for that. So
Yeah,
my last class to teach is Thursday this week, and then I'll have the rest of the time to
to chill out.
chill out and get some baked goods ready for the fights, which is chilling for me. Making baked goods is fun, so that'll be my relaxing time. And won't have to teach or
Right.
work out too hard. Just stay loose.
So what I like to do, we want to go over some of the training schedule because I think this is really important for people to
Oh yeah, to understand.
understand what really goes into this, because Ben is trying to get to the UFC. He's not in the UFC. Not yet. This, who knows, could be coming up quick. And then the guy he's fighting, same type of situation.
Yeah,
I'm sure
everyone's trying to get
everybody
there, yeah.
in the LFA has got some sort of life other than fighting that they have to keep up with if they want to pursue this dream.
Unless you're independent and wealthy.
Well, there is that. I don't know too many fighters that are independent wealthy.
Just BJ Penn.
Right. So we got one.
You got one.
Got one. So basically what we're looking at right now. So how long is your fight camp?
I usually start nowadays. I usually start my strength conditioning 12 weeks out. And I'm always teaching and training. I really ramp up my mixed martial arts and jiu-jitsu training at least 8 weeks out, sometimes a full 12 weeks out.
Yeah.
Just depends. But yeah, you get that strength conditioning going 12 weeks out, sometimes MMA at the same time. But for sure, I start my MMA training, my 4 or 5 days a week of MMA training 8 weeks out.
So strength and conditioning.
Yeah.
Where do you do that? What does that look like? What do they have you doing?
Yeah, so trainers, horsepower strength conditioning.
Where's that?
And that's in Fridley.
Fridley?
So not too far from where I live. It's about 20 minutes from where I live. And, it's all private individual instruction and coaching and training. And he has a lot of guys there. He's got fighters and kickboxers, but even more just people that want to get really strong and athletic and explosive and mentally tough. And so he works on. So he's got people who do strongman competitions, just people who just want to have confidence and get strong. So he works with a lot of different types of athletes. A lot of football players. He has a few NFL draft guys there.
Oh, does he?
He's had Olympic cross-country skiers, a whole mix of people. A few women from Invicta fighting. And
really?
Yep. So there's a whole mix of folks there.
And that's at Horsepower in Fridley.
Yeah, Horsepower and Fridley. Look up Matt Miller's the head coach, or the guy that owns the place and runs the place. And so I do that usually 3 days a week. And that's for me when I'm getting ready for a fight camp. At the beginning of it, you're a little bit heavier. You're working on your heavier lifts. And then as you get closer and closer to the fight, the last few weeks, you're going to dial back the weight and just stay loose, But it's a lot of Olympic lifts, explosive, cleans, jerks, all those types of things. Snatch, all these.
How much you bench?
I haven't benched in about 10 years.
Really?
So I'm not sure.
Okay, good.
I could maybe crack I don't want to brag, but I could probably crack 200.
Good.
Maybe 210. I don't want to get too cocky.
Right. We don't want to get too
But I'm
crazy.
pretty confident I could put up 200.
200 on the bench. That's pretty good.
Just a tad over my weight. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But we find that doesn't transfer as well to most athletic movements.
I
Some of
have,
their football players that like to do that, but
Yeah.
not a lot of the other athletes don't do a lot of
I
bench.
have a specific move in the jiu-jitsu that,
It's called bottom mount. Get off me.
yeah, that works pretty good for me.
Yep.
So you're doing the horsepower 3 days a week. What time do you get there? Is it an
Yeah.
early morning?
Yep.
thing,
So
or-
I'm usually doing not super early. I'm usually about like an 8 a.m. guy. So
Yeah.
I'm usually doing 8 till 9. I'll come home, get in, shower, get some more calls and paperwork done, then teach my noon classes, then maybe get a short nap and more calls and paperwork, then teach my evening classes, and then have an hour of MMA training for me to train.
Yeah.
Right. The daily class, I'm usually just helping students out. I'm not.
Right.
I'm working and showing some things, but I'm not helping myself much. So from 9 to 10 p.m. after the class time's over, then I have guys like you come in and some of the upper belts to spar with me and help me
Yeah.
get ready and rotate on me, bring in fresh guys so I can get tired out, And,
Which is hard to do, by the way. I mean, I've been working fight camp almost this until I got a concussion. I've been working this entire fight camp with you.
Yeah.
And it's exhausting. Now, keep in mind, I'm old, out of shape, fat, and not very skilled. So
Yeah, and it's pretty rare that we have too many concussions in our training, but you had
No.
you had a pull-up bar land on your head, 6 months ago, you said?
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so you get some previous ones, a light bump can rattle you a little
Well, and
bit.
it wasn't even. It was when I was showing that other guy hip throw,
Oh, yeah, you said, yeah.
and it's just that the vibration set something
when you
loose
got
in
a
my
previous
head.
thing in there, it doesn't take much.
No, it didn't. And
Yeah.
you barely touched me, and
Yeah.
it really set it
Which I was
off.
surprised. I've been sparring for, getting ready for fights now for 9 years. I've never gotten a concussion training. So we usually pull our power, and I've
Right.
had too many
Yeah,
previous
exactly.
ones, but I forgot you had the previous one. So
Yeah.
yeah, that makes
Well,
sense.
and that's I'm never worried about it. Even in your fight camps, I'm not
Yeah.
worried about getting hurt because we are pulling power a bit.
Yeah.
And well, you can't knock anyone out.
that's what I was most surprised by.
Right?
I dropped someone once in a fight, and I'm pretty sure he just slipped because he got right back up. But I count it as a knockdown in my mind. I lost the decision on that fight anyways. But
So you knocked the guy down, and he still
I
lost
was
the
so-
decision.
yeah, I was so tired. I didn't even get on top of him. It was my really bad weight cut fight. But I mean,
Yeah.
of course, the guy fought really well. He beat me easily. He gave me a 6 or 8 stitches here, and then like 8 staples in my head. And
8 staples.
and
You
I-
had
and I-
stitches and staples.
stitches and staples, and I sprained my own ankle. Like I went to throw a round kick, and then when I pivoted back to land, my ankle just folded on itself.
Yeah.
He didn't even touch me, and I didn't feel it. And I felt my ankle give out, but it didn't hurt. And then as soon as the fight was done, the third round was over. I needed help walking out of the cage because like the adrenaline was gone and I couldn't walk.
Ben Neumann kicking his own ass. So what fight was that?
That was my I don't know, my 5th or 6th fight. That was when I decided to change weight classes to 170
Yeah,
because
You were
the weight
fighting
cut was too much for me.
lightweight, 155.
Yep, I had 5 or 6 or 7 fights, whatever it was, at lightweight, and they usually felt good. But then I started training in horsepower, and I didn't realize I'd put on 6, 7, 8 pounds of muscle.
Yeah.
And then when I
Makes
started to make my normal weight cut, I just couldn't get any skinnier, and I didn't want to back out. I didn't want to miss weight. Some people just miss weight, and they don't. I don't know. It doesn't bother them. But I didn't want to miss weight, so I made weight, but it's really tough. Lost 23 pounds in a week, 18 pounds in one day, and I don't recommend
Oh my
it.
gosh!
So
18 pounds in one day.
And I was already me, like essentially probably at that time I was pretty much starving myself most of that week,
Oh my
and
gosh,
it
I
was-
couldn't imagine.
and I don't know. Some of these guys apparently do it in the UFC, but it's not smart overall. That's why it was a one-time thing. I never did it again, and I don't think it's smart.
No.
So I just changed weight class. I fight bigger guys now, and I fight pretty close to my walking weight. Like on the day of the fight, at the most I've ever weighed in a fight at 170 is 180
Yeah.
on fight day. I'm pretty sure a lot of my opponents will be 190, 195. I'm sure I fought some guys at 195. What is this Till guy was saying? He was be 200 or something on
Yeah,
fight day.
he's huge.
So that's I don't know how they do it, but
It's not
I'm
healthy,
not-
I'll tell you that.
I'm not
much.
interested.
No.
You gotta pay me a lot more than what you're paying me now to do that.
Well, that's
Maybe if you pay me 50 grand, I can see why they do it if they
Yeah.
think they're gonna win. But you're probably gonna get more head trauma, and it's definitely not fun.
No, it's not. I mean, I've tried to just drop 5 pounds. That's not a lot of fun. But that's the biggest reason why I don't cut weight, because I carry so much muscle then.
Yeah,
I just carried all
that's
this
a problem.
muscle.
I don't
so
have
it's
that
just-
problem as much.
Right, So this is crazy. All right. So you're getting up at 8 a.m. to do horsepower, training hard there. How long is that training session?
Usually about an hour and a half.
Hour and a half. So
Yeah,
90 minutes at horsepower.
Yeah.
You go from there, you try to catch up on some paperwork.
Yeah.
You go teach at noon.
Yeah, noon to 2.
Noon to 2. You have a little bit of a break.
Yep, more calls, paperwork.
Then
Yeah.
kids class starts at, or family class with the kids starts at 5. You take that all the way till 9 o'clock, and then you got to deal with guys like me.
Guys like you.
Pounding on you until 10 o'clock. How many nights a week are we doing fight
I'm
camp?
usually doing those fight camps usually 4 nights a week.
Horsepower's 3 nights a week.
Horsepower's 3 nights a week, and then I usually do 2 extra times of some other conditioning. Usually it's like a 6-mile run.
With Rambo.
With my dog sometimes.
Husky.
He doesn't handle the heat as well. He likes the winter runs.
I don't handle the heat, and I'm just fat. I couldn't imagine being husky.
Yeah, so I'll get in my 6-mile run or a yoga session instead. One of the two.
The yoga.
Yoga's tough in a different way.
Yeah.
All those chicks that make it look so easy, it's super tough.
What? When did you start doing yoga? Why did you start doing yoga?
Well, the number one reason I ever do it is when my back's bothering me. So I've had some herniated discs, and that'll fix it for me.
Really?
So I'll have to stop doing any kind of lifting or hard mixed martial arts training if my back's bothering me. I'll just do straight yoga for a few months. And that usually fixes it, and I'll be good. And every once in a while, it might throw it out again. Yeah. And then I'll go back to it. But sometimes I just do it if I just can't motivate myself to run. I don't feel like running. The yoga's a good workout too.
Maybe I should try out the yoga because I can't run unless I'd take a cab is what I'd rather do than run.
Yeah, it's not as good for the heart rate, but
yeah. So where do you do the yoga?
Core Power is it's a mainstream. There's probably more technical, better yoga places, but for me it works good. They got like 5 or 6 of them in the cities. I don't know.
Yeah.
So Grand Ave in St. Paul is a good one. But they have a ton of class times. You can do drop-in classes, so I just drop in whenever I want. So
you're managing 2 schools, the bakery. Yep. You got to fit time in to bake, right? You're starting at 8 a.m. You're going till one night we were here till what 10?
Yeah, I was going to 10:30.
Training,
and then clean up, get home by 11:30.
And rinse and repeat.
Yep.
Right.
Get a little time to hang out with the wife, not as much during the fight camps. So that's one of the reasons I try not to fight back to back all the time. It's just a little stressful with the family stuff. I don't have any kids right now. It'll be tougher once I get kids. Yeah. But you want to spend time with your wife too, so we get a little time together.
That's why you got her.
To spend time with her.
Right. I mean, that's why you get a wife, right?
She doesn't watch this. We're good.
Yeah, it's fine.
That's why you get one of those. You can have one.
That's right. You get them. Yeah, we get you.
Yeah.
That's
we watch our Netflix. We watch the British Baking Show right now. It's pretty exciting. Ooh. They have a new season out. I think it's like season 5. So go to Netflix, catch up on the British Baking Show if you haven't.
Do you ever watch Gordon Ramsay?
Is he still around? He's still around. My wife had never heard of him. I was like, how have you not heard of Gordon Ramsay and who's the guy that's like kick it up a notch? Emerald. She had never heard of Emerald. I'm like, how have you not heard of Emerald? He was like the original guy.
Yeah, he was the big guy.
Yep. He was.
Gordon Ramsay.
And to be fair, it might have been Emerald she hadn't heard of.
That's rubbish.
I was surprised, to say the least, because she works in the food industry.
What does she do?
She works at Meritage. It's a super fancy French restaurant downtown. They're the highest. I think they're like the highest rated French restaurant in the Midwest.
Downtown Minneapolis, St. Paul?
St. Paul, sorry.
Downtown St. Paul. Yeah. The good side of the river. Sorry, Minneapolis.
A little less shady over there.
Yeah, what does she do there?
She's a waitress, server, wine connoisseur. She can
at a high-end French restaurant?
Yeah,
she doesn't
fancy.
Know who these
she
guys
can taste a wine and tell exactly where it's from and all that.
Does she get hammered a lot?
Can I say that on here?
No,
she would never. But they don't discourage the drinking on the job.
No, not at a French restaurant, right?
Yeah, it's very different than most other lines of work. You want to be a heavy equipment operator and drink the amount that they would encourage you to drink at the restaurant.
Or an MMA fighter.
It's
I think
you would think it would slow your reflexes a tad.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Just a little.
Yeah. So that's quite the lifestyle, though, to try to chase a dream.
Yeah.
Of getting into the UFC, because obviously, even some of those guys that get into the UFC,
most of the guys still can't do that full time.
They still can't. Yeah.
No.
Right.
You got to be almost top 10 to have that pay for your lifestyle, and even then, what are you going to do after you're done fighting? Probably 4 years from then. Yep. You're going to have to get back into the workforce. You better keep some skills going, or just be ready to unleash yourself into a new work area. It's just you're going to lose your old job and have to start from scratch again. It's just most people in the UFC starting pay, I think, I've double checked. Starting pay right now is either $10,000 or $15,000
for a fight.
So when you sign for the UFC, you're going to get probably a 3-fight contract. I forget, $10,000 or $15,000 to show. Another $10,000 or $15,000 if you win. let's say you fight 3 times that year, which is lucky. Most people are going to fight twice a year,
Right.
and they're going to probably win one and lose one. So most likely, you win one fight, that's either 20 or 30 grand, and you lose one, that's another 10 or 15. So if you're lucky, you get your 50 grand for your year. Most people are paying some percentage to their gym.
Yep.
I don't pay any to the gym here. We don't charge our fighters any fees when you train at the Cove. You just pay your membership like any other student. You're not special, but we're not going to charge you anything. Like a lot of gyms, you're going to pay. You're no more special than anyone. I mean, you're special. Don't get me wrong.
Thanks.
Special. But I know some gyms are paying 5-10% or whatever to their. Plus, your manager's that's normally your manager's gonna take a cut. They're helping find you fights and get you in the door. So that's normal to pay 20% or so to your manager. So maybe you knock down 50 grand now to 40 or 35 grand, which is okay. Jeez. Now we're just above the poverty level.
Yeah. Next thing you know, your daughter's knocked up and you got money missing from your wallet. So with the UFC, they have matchmakers. They have all this stuff. They get on, a guy wins, they get on the microphone, they call people out.
Yeah.
LFA,
less of that. Yeah.
Right. So so you fight Bobby Lee.
That's the plan.
The guy without the nickname?
Yeah, I fought back-to-back Bobbies here.
Yeah. Yeah, it was Super
Duper Bobby Cooper.
Yeah.
I went from the coolest nickname to no nickname.
Yeah, to no nickname, this guy. So how does this fight get lined up? Are you searching for a guy?
I never really get to pick or choose necessarily. That's what I could. But my manager brings me options, and he's not going to give me mostly. I think anyone in the LFA level, I'm comfortable fighting. So it's not like he's ever brought me someone I can't fight that guy. But he brings me a few guys, and what do I think? If this guy's too easy, it's not going to help me. If this guy's record is not great, why would I want to take that fight, right?
Yep.
It's not going to help me move up in the rankings. And then he made me 2 guys, like, well, which one do you think is a better matchup for you? I think I like this guy, for whatever reason. Cool, let's try him. And then they see if they're interested, and if not, sometimes they'll turn it down because they think I'm too easy, or they think I'm not going to move them up, or vice versa. They're worried that I'm going to submit them. Who knows?
Right.
And it may get accepted or not accepted. And it takes a few weeks of that until they get someone, they both agree, then we're set up. And you never talk to the guy. My manager just does all the work, and they ask me, okay, they're in or they're not in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't even know who requested this one. It could have been Bobby Lee's camp, or it could have been my manager requesting it. Doesn't really matter. But we're both like, cool, why not?
Yeah.
And, we know each other. Not where we've ever hung out before or anything, but we fought on the same cards the last 2, 3, 4
Yeah,
cards.
I've seen Bobby Lee out there.
And we're usually in the same locker room. So we're usually, he's sitting on the couch, and I'm 3 feet away from him, and I'm taking a nap, and he's chatting with Brock Larson, his coach, and we chat a little bit, and I fall asleep until it's time to fight. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Because
that's how you get ready for a fight? You take a nap.
That's my approach. I don't know what yours is.
I don't think it would be taking a nap.
Yeah. Look up Hickson Gracie choke. What's Hickson do before his fights? He takes a nap,
right,
then he eats a banana, and he jumps in there.
Ready to go. That's your all right.
I follow Hickson's approach.
So this Bobby Lee guy, right? He is 8-2. Yeah, I've seen him fight. He throws down, man.
He's a tough dude.
He is a tough dude, but you're a tough dude too.
In my own right.
Well, yeah. Well, I've messed around, with your fight camps through a lot. This one, others not so much, just because of time.
Yeah, I made it up to Locan a little bit.
Right, but and it's fight camps are grueling. They're tough.
Yeah.
Right. So you're tough just to go through those.
Yeah.
I mean, the fight camps are probably harder than the fight itself.
That's the idea, and when you're feeling a little too worn down, you back it off a little bit. But you got to have days where you're getting pushed, especially early in your career. You got to get the confidence that you can push yourself. And I think once you've done that a lot, you don't need to necessarily grind that hard every day. I think once you have that skill, keep it sharp here and there, but I don't think you need to be grinding yourself to death every day. That's how I think a lot of guys get a ton of injuries, is they're going too hard every single day of the week. So I adjust it, but I always make myself. I'm not. You can't get lazy.
No, Ben's not lazy.
Spot.
That's for
There's
sure.
a sweet spot.
So, and that's the cool thing. So Ben gets to, go fight. Awesome, in front of a huge crowd, a lot on TV, and then you guys got like me, Jeremy, Jackson, Freddie.
You get to help get me ready for it.
Yeah, which has actually been. It's one of the cooler experiences that I've had.
Yeah.
To help get someone ready. I mean, I
remember the same thing when I was a student coming up. Nate Howe was teaching here.
Yeah.
And he still corners me for a lot of my fights. Not for this fight because he has the same head instructor as Bobby does. So he won't be cornering me for this one. Just kind of stepping out for this fight.
Good
but
move.
yeah. That's usually a good approach. But yeah, I remember helping him get ready for a couple of his fights, and I think I'm so excited, and I'd be super nervous watching him fight because, like, it's your coach, it's your instructor, plus you like, I helped, He tapped me 50 times. I helped.
Yeah, exactly. Then if you get beat, it's like, I didn't help
enough.
Crap. Sitting there with a black eye and beat up. You're like, I didn't get beat up enough. What's wrong with me?
Yep.
Right? So this fight with Bobby Lee, he's 8-2. He's coming off of a loss.
Yeah.
Moving
up weight class.
Moving up, yeah, because he's been fighting at
155. Yeah, just like me.
Pounder,
did his first 10 fights, 155. I did my first 6 or 7, 155. So.
And why is he moving up? Do you know?
I don't know the background behind it. I do know I think he missed weight 3 times, if I remember correctly. I think he missed weight 3 times for his last fight.
Yeah.
And so he's for whatever reason he's not making the weight. So it's probably just his frame's probably just better suited for 170. So
yeah,
he's just doing the switch.
Not chubby, that's for sure.
Yeah, no,
he's no boy.
He's a jack dude, So he'll be stronger than me easily. So he's not like he's moving up a weight class and he's gonna be worried about strength. He'll be fine. That's probably why he probably accepted this fight. I'm not some big 170 guy.
Yeah.
It's it's probably looking as a good first fight for him. So it'll be interesting to see if my jiu-jitsu will. He's a jiu-jitsu guy too, just in a different way.
Yeah, he's got a lot of submissions.
Yeah, he's a good jiu-jitsu guy. He's more of like a top power jiu-jitsu guy.
Yeah.
And if I can get on top, that's great. I'm not as good at usually getting the top positions as he is. So we'll see if I can get on top or not. But he's more of the heavy pressure on top, get Kimuras, that kind of thing. And I have a lot of finishes off the ground, off my back.
Yeah, this dude's
and also some on top. So
you're like the sorcerer of submissions. I'll be pressing Ben up against the wall,
smush against the.
Yeah, and I'm like 235 pounds, and you're fighting at 170. So when I smush him, it's smush.
There's not much space.
No, it's kind of fun actually because Ben is smushed, and I'm like, yay, this is a win. Then I grab onto Ben, I drag him to the ground, and the next thing you know, I wake up because I was just triangled or my arms ripped off because I got arm barred going to the ground. And that is from when we go to the ground, I'm on top. And the next, seriously, I wake up, and so you are definitely, he doesn't really choke me out. I know he wants to, but that is going to be an interesting
stylistic
matchup.
It'll be fun for a lot of guys.
Two jiu-jitsu guys. One favors the top, one favors the bottom. So
it'll be fun to see what happens.
It's gonna be crazy.
That's why you have them fight. You never know.
So we got this coming up on the 21st, Mystic Lake, right? There was another really big welterweight clash recently.
Oh yeah. I should have studied up on this. I didn't get to see it.
You didn't watch it?
No, I was gonna watch it. I was gonna rewatch it, but I heard everyone talk about it.
Yeah.
Darts from top side. Essentially, it was just standard dart setup, but not even anything tricky about it.
No.
Just kind of a beginner
tricky
move.
At all.
Even
I could have seen that coming.
I haven't seen it, but that's what everyone said. It was just standard setup, right?
Yeah.
From top side. So
crazy.
Till's not known to be a ground guy, so.
No.
I mean, maybe it was kind of a beginner mistake. Maybe it was he rocked and maybe he's half out of it and makes a mistake. That happens sometimes too. So.
It does. I've been rocked. But you're still, that's what you train for. So you would think you'd be able, you're just muscle memory, you'd be able to catch that, but everybody gets caught.
This is true. I got guillotined. I've been submitted once. Yeah.
By who?
A guy that I don't think ever fought again after he beat me. But it was kind of funny.
That was it. Capped it off. Career.
It was
career. I got Ben the Baker.
It was kind of funny because it was after my first loss. I got knocked out like 30 yards from here. This buffet place down the spot that used to be what was it called? Primetime Bar and Grill. And it was at the cage in the middle there. And I headlined my first headline show for a packed house of 400 people or whatever, right? 400
people crammed in there? You think it was that many?
Probably was above fire code. But I got knocked out, and then my comeback fight was a fight that I probably should have won at Target Center, big venue. But the fight was one I probably should have won. It was a tough kid, but he wasn't a real technical guy. But I just hadn't fixed some things I needed to fix, and I made a mistake. And he snatched up a real strong guy, and he got guillotined. I don't know, 2-minute fight. I just caught guillotine right away. So legit submission for him, and I lost it. But then he won. He gets on the microphone. Yeah, I knew I was gonna beat this guy. This guy sucks. And he's like went to town, which you rarely ever see in local fights. Like you don't do that locally. Everyone's pretty like
Everybody's
cool with each
pretty
other.
chill, yeah.
He got off and just went like total heel. Everyone starts booing. The whole Target Center. Boo!
Really?
It
How
was
many
so
people
great.
were at the Target
I've never
Center
seen,
for this?
so they didn't come anywhere close to selling out. Selling out, there were 3,000 or 4,000 at the most. Maybe there were really 2,000. I can't remember. But so it was just the lower bowl. They opened up the upper bowl. Was not. But it was pretty crazy.
Some clown on the mic, and that dude never fought again.
I don't think he ever fought again. I don't think he did.
What a joker!
But it was kind of crazy.
So when you first, what year did you get into fighting?
2009. First
So
fight.
and when back then you jump in, there was not really any amateur.
Yeah, and so the pros were lower quality than they are now.
Yeah. So you were really a low quality pro.
For sure.
See, I get to give it to Ben a little bit. You should hear how this guy beats on me. So when you did that first fight, what BJJ belt?
I was a white belt at the time, just because at the time my head instructor wasn't a black belt yet. He was a brown belt, so we couldn't give out official jiu-jitsu rank to a high level yet. So we would drive down to Missouri to train with a black belt down there under Hickson to get ranking. And I just hadn't done that trip yet and hadn't been officially belted, so I was still a white belt at the time. But skill level wise, I was about purple belt skill level.
Yeah.
I was what you would say called blue belt in our mixed martial arts level here, which nowadays when you're blue belt here, that's official Hickson Gracie purple belt jiu-jitsu. So I was a purple belt skill level for most of my fights. I got my black belt in our MMA system, I don't know, 6 years ago, probably or so. And that's brown belt in jiu-jitsu. So I'm brown belt now,
Through the Hickson
Gracie.
Right. Which is interesting because I was talking to Ben about some of his jiu-jitsu tournaments that he's done, because there's a big one coming up this weekend.
Yeah.
That I'm actually in.
Submission challenge.
Yep, I'm doing that one. Just a big old blue belt going in there, BJJ blue belt. So you have done those tournaments as a brown belt with the Hickson Gracie system, and you compete against other black belts.
Yep.
Right?
I think I've only gone against a couple of black belts. I've gone against quite a few brown belts over the years that are now black belts, and I haven't had done too many tournaments recently, so I've gone against them again. But I've gone against guys I don't know the level. I've gone against a couple of black belts, I think, in matches.
And you've beaten them.
Yeah, I don't want to speak out of turn here. I'm pretty sure I didn't know you, but we can say why not.
Yeah,
no, but
why not?
I'm right around that level. I know a lot of guys. There are some guys I've gone with back and forth. They've tapped me a few times. I've tapped them a few times over the years, and they've gotten their black belt in the last year or two. And our system's maybe a little slower, more conservative.
A little bit tougher.
However you want to word it, was our level. Yeah, we wait a little bit longer to get it.
It's tougher.
Yeah. So
it's good.
It's a longer route for a black belt here. Yeah.
Well, so then this you did a pro BJJ match.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. So they call it Fight to Win Pro. And so technically it's pro because you're selling some tickets to get paid. Yeah. So you can get $100 or so to do it, which is normally you're paying money to compete. Now they're paying you to compete, so it's a good switch.
How did that go?
Fun. So I fought an instructor from the academy. He teaches at the academy in Eden Prairie. Seemed like a super nice guy. Never met him before, but you get a 8 or is it 6 minute? I think 8 minute match.
8 minutes.
Then you get an 8 minute match, and I got him with maybe a minute to spare with Darce or Anaconda, some head and arm choke.
Probably a Darce.
That's usually what I get. It's one of the two. I think it was Darce. But yeah, it was fun. Yep. So he's a brown belt and he's an instructor. So it was kind of fun, instructor versus instructor.
Yeah, that's cool.
Match.
School against school.
Yeah.
So was it like the Cobra Kai's? Is the academy?
I almost swept the leg. But
Did you? See, if I would have been there, I would have yelled "sweep the leg" for sure. Because I'm Johnny, right?
That's true.
Wait, Johnny was the guy that was in the fight.
Yeah.
I would have screwed it up then. I usually do that. I would have botched it. Kind of like in jiu-jitsu, I botch things all the time. Wake up a little bit later. What happened? Ben got you again, right? So we've covered a lot of stuff here. This fight coming up against Bobby Lee. Again, 8-2, LFA 50.
Yep.
What does this mean to beat a guy like Bobby Lee, who this is his first fight coming up in weight?
Yep.
Coming off a loss, but he's got an impressive record. 8-2.
He's only got 2 losses, and the guy he lost to was really good.
Yeah.
They flew him in from Brazil, super high level guy.
I
so
saw that fight.
No one loses that guy, and like all of a sudden you're like, oh no, you're not good
anymore. He's in the UFC now, isn't he?
I don't even know for sure. Beats me. Did he?
I can't remember. I should have looked.
I know
I should have done better research, but I have a full-time career as well, plus kids. Figure that out.
I just know he's a super high level guy, so losing to him is no shame. It's not like
No.
he's
and
yeah.
Bobby
So he stepped back up and taking a tough fight, and you know, I'm not expecting to be an easy fight for anyone per se.
And Bobby got to fight amateur. He was 5-0.
Yeah, so he was 5-0 amateur and then 8-2 pro. So he's got
he's got a lot of experience.
15 fights.
That's
so
a lot.
I'm 13-5. So yeah, so I've had 18 fights. He had 13. So or 15. So we're similar. Similar experience.
There.
He just crammed him in a short time period. He's really young. He's what, 22.
22.
I'm 32.
That's all he is.
These kids are fighting these days.
Jeez.
I gotta fight these young guys.
Now you know what it's gonna feel
it's
like.
like you going against me.
Yeah, you're 32.
I'm 32.
I'm 42.
Yeah, it's the same deal.
Good luck. Although after 40, the wheels tend to come off a little quicker.
Yeah.
A little quicker on the wheels coming off there, Ben Neumann. So this is a good win.
So especially, you know, a lot of guys, you know, if Pat Miltich, if you're watching this, all right, they like Bobby Lee's aggressive striking style.
Pat Miltich probably is watching.
He probably
this because
follows
it's
you.
Huddy Live.
Yeah,
I'm sure he follows me. Legend,
but
legend in the MMA
you know,
community.
I think he's a fan of Bobby's aggressive style and his striking style too. So if I can take Bobby down and beat him, Pat Miltich has to say something nice about my striking abilities.
Yeah,
even if it's defensive striking. I don't need to knock him out, but if I can knock it, hit, and take him down, that's what I consider defensive striking.
Right.
Not getting hit, that's defensive striking. So that's what I want.
And they pick on you for your striking.
You know, and which is, yeah, you know, it's fine. They do what they will. But
you got a winning record, a pretty impressive
so I look at it like this.
because
My goal is to be the Damian Maia, you know, mini version of be as good as him, you know. And it's just that approach is to not do the offensive striking, do the grappling thing, right? And so there are a million strikers out there that, you know, no one rags on them for not ever getting a submission win. They could have 15 knockouts, and they'll never get ragged on for never submitting anyone,
right?
But you'll see some submission guys that have a ton of submission wins and never knocked anyone out, and everyone's always saying, man, when are you going to learn to strike?
Yeah.
It's like, hey, that's not my game. I'm going to take you down, and sure, I might lose here and there, but everyone, those strikers are getting knocked out too, and they're getting submitted too.
Yeah.
So I don't think you have. I think you need to be comfortable. I think you need to be comfortable doing everything, but you don't have to have the offensive necessarily knockout power, and you don't have to have offensive submissions. You can be a really slick striker, get really good at getting back to your feet, get really good at defensive jiu-jitsu, and that doesn't mean you're bad at jiu-jitsu. That just means you're focusing on the defensive side of jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, not
and for me,
submitted.
my goal is focus on the defensive side of striking, setups for takedowns, ground and pound, and submissions.
Aggressive submission.
And so I'm still trying to get better at that. I'm not the best at that yet, but I'm trying to get good at that side of it. I'm not going to focus on as much knocking guys out. It's just not going to be my thing. My goal is take them down and show what jiu-jitsu can do.
Yeah, which is awesome. And so if you're what Ben was referring to of being like a Damian Maia, if you have not been a big fan of the MMA community, and Damian Maia,
jiu-jitsu.
Right. Damian Maia has been around a long time. I think he's
multi-time world champion jiu-jitsu for many times, and then transitioned to MMA.
Yeah, and the dude's like my age.
Long time. Yeah.
He's like 40 years old.
And you look at him, he looks like just a normal dude. Like he looks like me. Like he's not.
He does,
He's not big, strong dude. He just looks like a normal guy that maybe works out. You know,
Yeah.
you can't tell by looking at him.
No, you can't.
And he just grabs dudes and takes them down. And there's only been a couple of guys able to stop his takedowns, and only those guys were like multi-time, like, you know, collegiate level.
Well, he made it. I mean, Damian Maia used jiu-jitsu so well.
Yeah.
In the UFC, it got him to a title fight.
2 title fights.
2 title fights. Yep. Against Tyron Woodley was one.
And Anderson Silva back in the day.
Which is crazy to think because
one of the only guys that went to decision against Anderson Silva early in his career. Anderson was knocking everyone out.
Right.
And Maia was one of the few guys like made this. Now Anderson Silva was kind of weird at the time. He was like being weird in that fight, but still
always weird.
he's a different guy.
He is a different guy. But I mean that's so, and you don't see that. So you're kind of like a throwback, to be honest with you, because in MMA
not as many
today,
specialists anymore.
No, there's not. Everybody is super well rounded, or that's what they're attempting to be.
Yeah.
Have this overall game where it might just come down to the athlete themselves. Like these guys are pretty equal, just who's the better athlete and who has the will to win, right?
Yeah.
Where you're coming into it, you're saying straight up jiu-jitsu, baby.
Yeah, I'm trying to shoot up this side of my game and try and impose that side on you. Yeah.
I like it. I like it a lot.
So Bobby, Here's my game plan. I'm gonna try
Jiu-jitsu.
and take it out. If I can't take it out, I'm gonna pull guard.
No,
And
you're
from there,
not.
I'm gonna try and submit you.
You're gonna try to knock him out. This is all a setup, right? Big power here. So you beat Bobby Lee. Let's say you haven't beat him yet. You still got to fight, but
Sure, if I do.
But if you get past Bobby
Yeah.
Lee, what do things look like going forward? Because your ultimate goal, we've talked
Gotta
about
get another
it,
title
is
shot.
UFC.
Yeah.
Do you know who's the champ right now? I didn't even have time to look.
It's still that Nakashima.
Is it
fellow.
really?
Yeah. No, those guys can't beat him. They can't beat him.
Why is he not in the UFC? Because that's usually what happens.
Word on the street, he's not as well received there because of his style per se. He's not finishing most anyone. It's a lot of decisions. So I think that's the word around town, but who knows? But yeah, because they almost always get picked up even after just like one title defense for any weight class. But there could be other things. It could be, I don't know, the UFC welterweight division could be too full and they don't need any extra welter. I mean, because you'll see the UFC go through these expansions and contractions of weight classes. Yeah. They'll get welterweight's a big division anyways. They'll get built up to 70 or 80 guys. So that's too many. Then they'll cut 30 people. Then they'll start pulling in fresh talent. Mm-hmm. So maybe it's part of that cycle. But it's not doing any favors that he has a lot of decisions and he's not finishing guys. And he's had some, most people would agree, dirty play as well. A lot of eye pokes and fouls and knees to the groin and stuff like that in multiple fights. So you start to give them less benefit of the doubt when it happens multiple times. So there's some issues there.
So then if you get past Bobby Lee, do you think you have another shot at the title? Because you fought
not yet.
For the
they're
title
gonna. I think they're gonna make. I gotta do some more work. I would have to get a few more. I'm pretty sure. So I'm prepared to hopefully beat Bobby Lee, and then and I think if I win 2 more in a row, I don't think they wouldn't. It'd be hard to deny a 4-fight win streak against tough guys. So I'm not taking easy fights. I'm taking these tough guys. So if I can beat 2 more tough guys, or maybe just 1 more tough guy, I think I'd get a title shot.
Well, and the guy that you fought for the title and lost to that's one
He's
of
still
Ben's
up there
losses.
Fighting, yeah. Maybe they'll rematch us. I don't know what the deal is. They don't do a lot of rematches in these tiers below the UFC, but who knows? Maybe they would.
So with the LFA, they're a big organization.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They're very big. They have a ton of good fighters. When you're fighting for a great organization like the LFA, do you ever get a little irritated with the Contender Series, Dana White stuff, and like the reality show? As
far as like it being a shortcut to
being a shortcut to the UFC.
Not too much, because a lot of those guys they'll get their shortcut and they'll get there and they're gonna lose. They're not ready anyways.
Flash in the pan.
So sometimes what they'll do is they will protect the person that wins. They'll give them really easy fights for the first year to give them time to catch up in their skills because they're already been marketed and known, and you don't want to waste all that marketing dollars.
That's a lot of money to waste.
So if you're the winner, it can be a decent shortcut. A lot of those guys that didn't quite make it, 2nd, 3rd, 4th place guys, whatever, they're gonna get cut right away when they lose their first few fights. So I've never even tried to try out for that. I'm not terribly interested in that. I'm fine with my path. So that's that's its own thing.
It is its own thing. I used to watch the reality show all the time.
I haven't seen any recently.
They're doing now heavy hitters, so they got heavyweights.
Okay.
So I'm watching that one.
Sure.
Because I'm not skinny. So I'm watching that one, and it's interesting. They got a guy up on there from St. Cloud.
Oh yeah. He just fought for the title for LFA, actually.
Yeah.
Green? No.
No.
I'm getting names.
I can't remember his name because
my brain might be getting scrambled. Yeah, but I know what you're talking about.
But he's huge.
Yeah.
He's super tall, and he's
he's one of Brock Larson's guys. He has the same coach of Bobby Lee.
And he put on a pretty good display.
Oh, yeah?
His first fight. Yeah, he did.
Did he win?
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. And I was because I was thinking, oh man, there's
what's his name?
A really good heavyweight up there. Might be fun to go train with him.
Oh,
whatever,
yeah.
Stuff like that. I didn't realize they had a St. Cloud guy, so I'm cheering for him.
Yeah. No, it's getting a good group for the local guys.
Yeah, it is. So it's interesting to see it's crazy about the heavyweight division in the lack of good quality heavyweights.
If you think a lot of the super athletes for those weight classes are gonna instead, just if you're a super athlete and you're that big, why aren't you in football making hundreds of millions of dollars? Why aren't you in hockey? Why aren't you in other things, right?
Right.
So there's, as it changes and there starts to get a little more money in the MMA slowly, like you'll start to see some up and coming kids stick with it. and we'll get more and more athletic guys, but there just aren't that many athletic people that can't make 205.
Right.
Most people can make 205 and they're going to fight there or below. And even then, it's a thin division too. It's
Yeah,
like 185 below. If you look at a lot of local fights, it's almost all 170 and below.
Yeah.
It's hard to find even jacked 185ers. You know, there are a few, but not many.
So do you think at my old age I could cut down to 205? I don't even know what I look. I might look like Skeletor at 205.
That could be a cool nickname too.
Skeletor?
Yeah.
I don't even want to try it. I might die. I would have to quit eating.
You could just do the whole Nick Newell. Well, probably not worth it.
No.
You would have to lose some type of limb.
Oh,
and
yeah.
you would not be able to adjust in time. It would be too late.
Yeah. Then I'd really be
not
up a
recommended.
creek.
Not recommended.
So we'll just keep all my limbs. And if we get me into the cage one day,
we'll just fight
heavyweight.
We'll just do heavyweight.
We'll just do heavyweight.
You can eat food. It's way more fun.
Yeah, I'm in with that. So if people, so the fight is next Friday.
Yeah.
So about a week and a half out.
Yep.
How are you feeling?
Good. Yeah. Everything's healthy. Good. This is as skinny as I get, so doing all right.
Yeah, you're skinny, boy. How's the weight cut going?
Good. Yeah. I have spreadsheets for every weight cut I've ever done. I'm just a pound or two below
the
where
baker.
I normally am.
He's measuring everything out.
Scientific.
Yeah.
Yep. So I'm on schedule, so no worries.
That's good.
Yep.
So then it's on the 21st, LFA 50 at Mystic Lake.
Yeah.
How many people show up for that thing? Last time I was there, it was pretty sold out.
Oh, yeah. I don't even know what their max capacity is for that venue that they have now.
It's really a sweet venue. They used to do the fight in like a theater.
The theater seating.
Right.
And they're set up on the stage where they have like concerts and stuff.
Yeah, and it was not bad because at least you were up high so you could see down.
Yeah. But you're physically farther away from the stage.
So you almost watch the screen half the time.
Yeah.
Where now this new venue that they're doing at Mystic.
The farthest seats are what? The farthest seats are what? Maybe 60 feet away.
Yeah.
The very farthest seat in the back.
Very farthest.
Yeah.
Away.
Yeah. Most
so
seats
you're
are
up
30,
on
40
there.
feet away.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So you can really see everything, and it's I like that setup.
Yeah, I've got a lot of good response from that.
Yeah.
And then of course you got cage side seats that are like 10 feet away from the cage.
Oh yeah, you're right there. I mean, you put a picture of the cage sites.
Yeah, the view from it. Yeah.
You are right there. I mean, so you fought there with that new setup.
Yeah.
So when you're on the ground, pinned up against the cage.
Wait, have I? Yeah.
My last one was there. Yeah, last one was there. Yeah. So good thing I remember the concussion brain, right? And I remember more than you. So I don't know who's.
I was focused on beating it up, not looking at the surroundings.
I know. So you're pinned up against the cage. Can you hear the people that are that? Because they
you
are
can hear crowd. You can hear crowd go,
close.
and stuff. And I'm not hearing individual voice. I'm trying to listen for my coach's voice.
Yeah.
And that kind of thing. And you'll hear the crowd like when you get a slam or a cool takedown. Then you'll hear them go, that kind of stuff.
Because they're literally, I mean, they're closer than your coaches.
Yeah. So if you take someone down the opposite side of the cage, the fans are closer to you than your coach yelling to you.
Yeah, easily. Sure. So you're dealing with all that. You're in this chaos. So what if people want to get tickets?
Then they should text, call, Facebook, Instagram. Probably don't tweet. I barely check that. But
you don't even know. Okay, hold on the Instagram.
Don't Instagram me either.
Don't Instagram this kid either.
No, I check it.
The kid.
I know the button now to look at the messages.
Yeah, so
I figured that out.
Good.
I think I have 2 that I haven't looked at for a few months.
For a few months.
I'll check
probably
it.
not
I'll
Instagram. You don't want to. So we were talking about. So the
I'm
kid.
Too old. I don't understand.
So I told Ben Instagram is Facebook for people that don't want to read. Took him a while to understand that concept, right? We're going to teach him. The old guy's going to teach the young guy a few things or two. But so we get a hold of you on Facebook.
Yeah, just post on here if you're interested. Or add me on Facebook or
Cage Ticks.
But yeah, no, it's best to go through me because I got a whole block of tickets. Especially if you're a co-folks or friend of mine. I'll sit you by some cool people. So you're not going to be next to the guy that's drinking way too many beers and it's a little ridiculous. There are some people here that may drink, not you, but some people. There may be some cool people that drink a couple too many beers, but they're cool people.
They are cool people.
But also, I can get you really good seats that are sold out on the website probably. So those cage side seat ones I get for $160. Those are like 10 feet from the cage, and I make 3 homemade pies on every table. So that's like 8 or 10 people splitting 3 pies.
Hey,
there's always leftovers.
What did you bring?
Oh yeah, these guys.
Yeah,
these guys.
So what do we got?
These
here?
are eclairs. And now these are they come in these fancy little packages I got, pretty professional. Take the sleeve off, and an eclair is
go ahead.
This is a fancy French delicacy with it's called a pâte, which is this special dough made of like enriched dough, which is really good eggs combined with flour, and then you heat it up. You almost boil it, and then you pipe it out, and then when you put it in the oven, the steam expands it in this light, fluffy, amazing pastry, and then you pipe in pastry cream, which this is vanilla, but I'll make some crazy ones of like mocha cream and all these other flavors for the fights. But anyone that buys a ticket for me gets these at Will Call. You go to Will Call, you get your ticket and one of these, and it might explode stuff everywhere.
Clear, good. I hope it does.
Ayo. Just starting to thaw out. I had them in the cooler.
Well, last time we did this,
part frozen.
Ben wanted me to try his pies.
Oh, there we go.
So he brings the oven with him to the
dojo.
To the dojo, a portable oven dedicated to the craft. These are really good.
There we go. That's the
stuff
filling
right there.
You'll put some toasted walnuts on some.
So you get one of these,
yeah,
and you show up. Hey, who's in your corner this time? Who you got in there? I know it's not me. What good would I do?
Not you
I
this
just be
time.
down, kick his butt, get after, right? What do I know?
Yeah, black belt extraordinaire Kyle Christensen should be in my corner, and then Herman Gilbert, who's with me for a long time, all of my fights actually. I used to do a little bit of boxing with him. I do a little less boxing now, but good family friend, and I like having him there for the fight. So he's there to help me mentally get ready and stuff.
That's awesome.
Yep.
So you got a good corner, big fight coming up. Eau Claire's.
Not Eau Claire's.
What do you call them?
Eclairs.
Eclairs?
Well, it's an E, but it's like
so
ECLAIR.
Eclair?
ECL.
Eclair? What are we saying
Closer.
here?
It's an
Say
eclair.
it again.
Eclair?
Eclair?
Sure, eclair. Now it's starting to sound weird. You say it enough and it sounds weird now.
Yeah, it sounds dumb.
But it tastes good.
How come you don't call it a donut? Because there's
It's not a donut.
What do you mean?
It's really messy. How are you not spilling everywhere?
Because I'm sophisticated. Very, very sophisticated.
Have you ever been called sophisticated before? No, I think so.
Never.
The only sophisticated
But I'm not making a mess of myself.
The only sophisticated
You're
goon
a
out there.
child. That is the problem. You're a child. I am an adult. You're put almond mouth.
It is delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if I make enough, I'll sell them in like 10 or 12 packs too for the bakery. So we'll see if I can make enough. But other than that, holiday pie sales are coming up. I'll be making like a pumpkin cheesecake pie as well for like Thanksgiving coming up.
Yeah, those are really good. My brother-in-law tortures me because he goes up north and picks one of those up on the way down just for me because I'm not a big sweets guy.
Oh, yeah. But they get that
so
cheesecake.
he brings
and the
that pumpkin pie cheesecake and puts it in front of me, and I eat half of it.
That's the reason you can't make 205.
That's a big part of the reason.
Reason.
That and too much muscle to lose, right?
But yeah, hit me up if you need tickets. I got the general admission. Even those include the eclairs and the
and
VIP
we're gonna post Ben's website for the bakery.
Yeah. To be honest, it's pretty sparse right now. I'm as we mentioned, I'm gonna be haven't updated that website much, but what you do is shoot me an email. I'll put you on my newsletter. I send out a newsletter every time I make baked goods, like once a month or so with new batches, and just send me your email and I'll put you on the list. But the website is good too. It's got my email list on the website, benthebaker.com.
So we'll post that on in the comments section.
Yes.
And we're gonna wish you good luck on the 21st.
Yeah.
Let's get out there. Let's support Ben the Baker Neumann.
Let's do it.
He's one of the best guys I know. He's working his butt off trying to chase his dream of getting to the UFC.
Yep. We didn't touch too much on. Of course, we got two other guys fighting. There's one here today. But Thomas Fevering's fighting again, amateur as well, and Dan Soriano. So both coming off of wins. We went 3-0 for our last fight. So hopefully we can get this going again and get another 3-0 here. So
yeah, that'd be awesome. And Daniel, who I've had on, I'm gonna try to get him on next week. It's been hit and miss with Dan.
Yeah, schedule wise.
But Dan's a great story. It's amazing. I know Thomas just had their kid.
Yeah, well, they were. I thought their C-section, or I think their plan was like
last night.
It's right around now. So I don't know if they. Yeah, I don't think I saw anything on it yet. I think it might be tomorrow or today or something.
Yeah.
They're real soon. So he's having his second.
I think second.
Multiple
so I mean,
kids.
it's crazy. So
and he's fighting the week after.
Yeah, and like Daniel, he's a father too.
Yeah.
I mean, so that's
real juggling of stuff.
And those guys are amateur fighters, so they're
getting paid almost nothing, basically nothing.
Right. So we want to make sure we support all these guys, whether it's, you know, buying tickets through Ben, or if you know Daniel or Thomas, you buy tickets through them.
Pick your favorite.
Probably Ben.
That's what you do.
Right? You just pick your favorite. But get out and support these guys. Come check out the Cove if you're interested in jiu-jitsu. Oh, yeah. This guy is an awesome trainer. I've learned a lot from him, especially going through fight camp. Fight camp is one of the most, it's the coolest experience.
Yeah. It's more time for me to get one-on-one with some of the guys too.
Yeah, and it's cool because it helps you get ready.
Oh,
which, I mean, so it's a win-win for everybody.
I can't fight without those. So.
Yep. It's really cool. So that's all I got.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Yeah, I'm going to figure out how to turn this thing off again.
I think you got to press the button over.
Is it the end video thing?
There.
Okay. Oh, do you still do it? Okay.
Nailed it.
Yep, good job. Woohoo. Thanks for doing that.
But I caught it all.
Yeah, you did. Good work on that. What did you think, Matt the Russian?
Was good.
Good?
Well, it's balls and blood, it's a dust of mud, it's a roar of a Sunday crowd. It's the white in the knuckles, the gold in the buckle, he'll win the next go around. It's boots and chaps, it's cowboy hats, it's spurs and let it go. It's the ropes and the reins and the joy and the pain, and they call the thing a rodeo. It's the broncs and the blood, it's the steers in the mud, and they call the thing rodeo.